And welcome back to NBA from my living room. Here we have Ishan and Jack with me to discuss the NBA MVP race that is being discussed right now for next year. I personally think that it's going to be Nikola Jokic. What about you?
I'm going to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he's going to have a bounce-back season this year. I know he's been playing less than his prime the past couple years, but this season with the new coach on their team, the new coach for the Bucks, and if they're fully healthy, Giannis will be playing to his full potential without Mike Budenholzer holding him back, calling terrible plays. So I personally think it's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, that's a good case. He has won it before, and I really don't believe that's going to happen though, just because he's a little rusty, and I think that Jokic is going to claim back that crown. What about you, Jack?
I think that Luka Doncic might be taking the MVP this year because he's just an all-around player. 2 years ago, he got his 60, 20, and 10, which I think he could get somewhere close to that again. And he's one of the best players in the league right now. He didn't last year, but he has gotten the Mavericks pretty high up in the playoffs. Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that is a good point. They have made it pretty far. So is Giannis, and Luka's the only one out of the three that has not made any finals, or doesn't even have a ring.
Well, Luka also.
I think we're about to have a caller. We got a caller calling in.
No, we don't.
Yeah, here it is.
Hello, this is SBC Radio.
Hey, this is Chris in Atlanta. How come y'all have not talked about Ice Trae the Gang, Trae Young? What is this? I mean, Ice Trae, he's led the league in assists multiple times. He's a 25-point-per-game scorer. He is the entire Hawks offense. He carries that team. I mean, when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, if he didn't get hurt against Milwaukee Bucks, I think they would have beat Giannis in the playoffs and gone on to the NBA Finals in 2021. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, from my perspective, yeah, that is definitely a interesting take, to say the least. The Hawks could have beaten the Bucks if Trae does not get injured, but this year I don't think they have the supporting cast to make a playoff run, and I feel like you need to have some sort of playoff success, whether that's only winning first-round series like we saw last year with Joel Embiid, or going to going all the way to the championship like we saw with Giannis. So what do you guys think about that take?
I personally think that year was a fluke. I love Trae Young, but I don't think that he can ever make it that far in the finals again if he stays on the Hawks. Don't get me wrong, I am a Hawks fan. I want Trae Young to stay. But if we don't get a new core players, we're not going to make it past the first round until we get either a new coach or a new core.
Yeah, I like Trae Young a lot. We got the Hawks. We got rid of John Collins this year, which over on the offense he was he would pass to him the most when he was in the paint. He would get most of his assists off of lobs with John Collins. And I mean, I like Trae Young a lot, but I also feel like we might have lost that trade for Luka when they both first got drafted.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I also feel like we might have lost that trade, but I see that we need at least I think that we need three of our players to truly make a big impact this year, and that is DeAndre Hunter to truly become that 3-and-D threat that we think he can be. Jalen Johnson taking that role of John Collins and just being a good lob threat. And then Kobe Buffkin, the rookie this year, I expect him to step right in and be a good part of that rotation to fit alongside Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. But I'm still just going to go with Jokic because he did win 2 back-to-back MVPs. He just got robbed of it this year, frankly, due to the voters just not wanting to give it to a player 3 years in a row, which is fair. But if you're the best player in the league, you're going to prove it. And he proved it by winning that finals. And I don't feel no one can debate a ring. With Luka, you can still debate because he does not have that ring. And with Giannis, he does. But also, that was 2 years ago, and I don't see that happening again. So, what do you guys think?
If if Ja didn't get kind of suspended, I might have went with him. I mean, he is one of the most entertaining people to watch in the NBA currently. I mean, he's dunked on half of the league at this point, and just everyone likes to watch him play. But sadly, he's one of the best shooters off the court, so we just don't want to go with that.
Yeah, I personally think that John Moran will end up getting kicked out of the league one of these days. He'll probably have another gun-related incident before his suspension ends and just not play for the whole year.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. And let's talk about some sleepers. Who do you guys think could be a sleeper for this MVP
I
race?
think Joel Embiid could come and look for a back-to-back. Nobody thinks Joel Embiid's going to get the back-to-back. Because nobody thought he was going to win it this year, and nobody thinks he's going to win it again. So I personally think that he could be a sleeper pick for this year.
He has been very potent. And if James Harden would leave and the Sixers would actually give him the ball in must-win situations, he could become that guy. So
this could be a little controversial, but he got waived by the Suns last year. So I'm going to have to go with a sleeper, Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. He was on the Hawks a few years ago, and he is just a really good defender. And if he was just in longer, I think he could just put up a lot more stats and possibly get the MVP in a few years.
Well, that's a bold take. I'm going to have a few, and they are all players that have had injuries. And I feel like if they can avoid those injuries this year, they could be in the MVP race late in the year. And those guys are Zion Williamson. He could become that guy that we always hoped he would be, taken at that number 1 spot in 2019. Kawhi Leonard, ever since he signed with those Clippers, he hasn't fully lived up to the hype in the postseason. But in his few games that he has played, he has looked incredible. And then the other players that I really would like to see make a push is Paul George, also on the Clippers, injury-related issues. But the Clippers gave up so much to acquire him, and all they have gotten from it is a second-round exit. And I just feel like for them to use these players to their fullest, I think they need to be healthy. And the last one is De'Aaron Fox. If De'Aaron Fox takes that leap, like he took a leap last year, but this year I think he's going to be even better and potent from the outside. So this has been NBA from your living room. Signing off.